Imagine waking up every morning knowing that a single decision could end the world. No armies were marching across borders, no bullets were flying between the two most powerful nations on Earth. Yet, for nearly half a century, the entire planet lived under the shadow of fear. This was the Cold War. A conflict that shaped modern history without ever becoming a direct war between the United States and the Soviet Union. The story begins in 1945. World War II had finally ended. Much of Europe lay in ruins. Millions of people had lost their lives. But from the ashes of war, two superpowers emerged, the United States and the Soviet Union. At first, they had fought together against Nazi Germany. However, their friendship did not last. The United States believed in democracy, individual freedoms, and free market capitalism. The Soviet Union believed in communism, state control, and a completely different vision of society. Both nations believed their system was the future, and both feared the growing power of the other. As tensions increased, Europe became divided. Western nations aligned with the United States. Eastern nations fell under Soviet influence. In 1946, former British Prime Minister Winston Churchill described this division with a famous phrase, "An iron curtain had descended across Europe. The Cold War had begun." Unlike previous wars, this conflict was not fought with massive battles between armies. Instead, it became a war of politics, intelligence, technology, and influence. One of the most dangerous parts of the Cold War was the nuclear arms race. In 1945, the United States possessed the world's only atomic bomb. But in 1949, the Soviet Union successfully tested its own nuclear weapon. The balance of power had changed forever. Soon, both sides began building larger and more destructive weapons: hydrogen bombs, long-range missiles, nuclear submarines. Year after year, the number of nuclear weapons increased. The world entered a terrifying era known as mutual assured destruction. The idea was simple. If one side launched a nuclear attack, the other side would respond. Both nations would be destroyed. Ironically, the fear of total destruction became one of the reasons a direct war never happened. While the superpowers avoided fighting each other directly, they competed across the globe. The United States and the Soviet Union supported different sides in conflicts around the world. Korea, Vietnam, Afghanistan, and many other regions became battlegrounds in a larger struggle between capitalism and communism. At the same time, a secret war was taking place behind the scenes. Spies gathered intelligence. Governments conducted covert operations. The CIA and the KGB became symbols of this hidden conflict. Information became a weapon. Secrets became valuable. Trust became rare. Then came the most dangerous moment of the Cold War, October 1962. American spy planes discovered Soviet nuclear missiles in Cuba, just 90 miles from the coast of Florida. The world held its breath. For 13 tense days, the United States and the Soviet Union stood on the edge of nuclear war. Many feared that humanity's final chapter was about to begin. Fortunately, diplomacy prevailed. Both sides reached an agreement. The missiles were removed, and the world stepped back from disaster. As the years passed, the Soviet Union faced growing economic and political problems. Maintaining military power became increasingly difficult. Across Eastern Europe, demands for freedom continued to grow. Then, in 1989, one of the most powerful symbols of the Cold War came down: the Berlin Wall. Crowds celebrated as people crossed freely between East and West Berlin. It was a moment that captured the attention of the entire world. Just 2 years later, in 1991, the Soviet Union officially dissolved. The Cold War was over. After nearly 50 years of tension, fear, and competition, the conflict had finally ended. Today, the legacy of the Cold War can still be seen in global politics, military alliances, and international relations. It was a war fought not only with weapons, but with ideas. Not only with armies, but with influence. And although it never became a direct military conflict between the two superpowers, it changed the course of history forever. The Cold War, a war where the greatest victory was avoiding the final battle.